Aquarius.
Hello Aquarius, Happy New Year 2014. It is a new year and we're excited about what's going to be taking place for you because there is a lot of energy now all piled up in your 12th house. And what does that mean? Well, the 12th house is the subconscious house. It's the creative house. It's where we dream those big dreams. It is where we can heal and transform ourselves. And for you, it's going to have an impact that actually is going to be following you throughout most of the year. Because as we start out in January, we have the Sun, the new moon, we got Pluto, Mercury, and also Venus. And Venus is retrograde there. And when it's pulled back into this house, it's more because you're going to notice how spirit within is wanting to rejuvenate. It's wanting to heal itself. It wants to be creative. It wants to listen to music. Maybe you just want to go and paint or sculpt or do something that is soothing for spirit. And it is because you have had so much mental focus, so much work, and so much etiquette to stand on your principles, to push ahead. And so right now you might just feel that you don't really need to push ahead. It's like the universe is going to give you somewhat of a break, whether you choose it or not. It's like the universe is going to give you a little bit more space here, 2014. Now, okay, these planets are just going to be a stellium for a couple of days to a couple of weeks. But then again, when we look at the whole scope for the entire year, it's like a blueprint frozen in time, just like a birth chart. So they're going to remain there throughout the entire year as the transits come and go and create aspects to it. So it's going to be underlying, all right? And all of this has a lot to do with breaking away from old habits, old routines, and you know, you might call it discipline. Now, self-discipline is one thing, habit is another thing. Self-discipline is when we consciously take action upon a direction where we stick to it. But whereas habits, it's totally unconscious, subconscious, you just keep doing the same old, you know, and tunnel vision there. So Uranus and Pluto here for you is trying to break away from what is habit. Okay, it's good to stick to the discipline part because that's what's pulling you through to acquire the visions, the long term that you have on the horizon. That's going to remain with you. But the breaking away from is when the universe looks at the weakest link in a chain and saying, you know what, this needs to go. You will already have noticed some of that taking place in your life when we look to the squares between Uranus and Pluto. Now, we had two run-ins in 2013. We had them in 2012. They started off in 2011. So right now, it's not a new melody. It's an old melody. But we have two more coming up in 14. And then we have the finality of these squares in 15. Now, both of these planets are looking out for your higher good. Pluto will transform the new you. Uranus is the rebel that's breaking away those things that no longer behoove you, with the ultimate goal for your higher good is renewal, to liberate from, to become freer than ever. So actually these two planets that you might feel on one level have been fighting and doing the tug of war, actually they're a blessing in disguise. They're fighting for you to liberate, to become, to merge into this new being that you will see that's going to be with you for the rest of your life. Okay, because these two planets here, Pluto takes, you know, 160 whatever years to go around once. Uranus takes 83 to 84 years to do around once. So when they're here right now, this is your chance to have like a sense of a feeling of a new incarnation while you're still in body. Okay, so we're really talking new life, all right? So when all of your planets are now in the 12th house, it's like being in the cocoon stage. All right, you've come out of the caterpillar, now you're in here, it's a gestation phase for you, and then you're going to come out as this new transformed being here by 2015. So you will be looking back in years, whether it's 5, 10, 15, 20 years, you'll look back and say, that was the year that I changed my ways. I changed my life. There was a new direction, new doors opening up for me. 2014. Okay, so it's a powerful year for you. And I want you to feel self-empowered. This is why we're going to be tracing here and tracking Mars, where Mars starts off, top of the year, where it's going to end up at the end of the year. And normally Mars takes 6 weeks to pass through one sign, but here, just from the very beginning of January, Mars is going to stick to one sign, that's Libra, for the length of 7 months. Okay, so you're going to have like tunnel vision on what it is you are going to do and where Mars wants you to focus. And for you, Mars is going to be in the 9th house. So the 9th house has to do with higher education, the way your mind thinks in philosophical terms, posing the questions, where is my path? Why am I here? What am I going, what is my life mission? It's really wanting to hone in on the mission to complete something that is meaningful. So I see you reaching, far-reaching horizons with Mars, which is fiery, but that's okay because the 9th house is also a fire house. It is the house of Sagittarius. So Mars is going to be quite optimistic. It's going to be full of drive. It's a double whammy fire here. And so it will give you what you need. The only thing, or should I say the only phase you want to be a little bit aware of, don't initiate anything new here between March 1st and May 19th when Mars is retrograde. It's never a good time to start any new venture or business or any deal. This is also the house of publishing. If any of you are going to think about publishing a book, for example, pull it back or delay it. If you can't get it done by the 1st, wait to the 19th. I would even say June 1st as a cutoff date there. As they say about Mars retrograde, whoever initiates loses, you know, because you don't have the power of it with you. The other party will lose, especially if you are thinking of initiating any kind of claim or lawsuit. This is the area of lawsuits too. I wouldn't start any lawsuit here in that phase because you're not going to win. Before, yes. After, yes. Even if you start it before and Mars is going to go retrograde while it's in the works, that's okay. It was initiated first, okay? So yes, there might be a little confusion, a little delay in the interim there, but it's not going to indicate that you will lose. So we have Mars here starting off in this very house, the 9th house, 7 months of it, and till July 24th. Then from the 24th to September 14th, Mars is then going to move into your 10th house of career. Now the 9th house might have you doing a lot of research because like the 3rd house is knowledge, the 9th house is wisdom, it's research, it's getting the answers that you're looking for. So you might be preparing yourself the first 7 months for what is to come in your chosen career field there from July 24th and onwards. Then Mars is going to have the know-how, the say. It's a very public place for Mars to be, so you might be rising here. You have this transit once every other year, you know, for a number of weeks where you might be able to rise and shine in your field, and especially when it's going to meet up there with Saturn. It will give you acknowledgments, it'll give you drive, leadership, and yeah, maybe even new responsibilities. We'll get back to that when we do the August-September charts later on this year. Talk more about it then. But from September 14th, you will be moving into the area, the 11th house of social networks. It's also the area of hopes, wishes, dreams, friendships, and working with groups or organizations. So the shift is going out from career into these groups. Maybe you're going to affiliate with groups. Maybe they will be very helpful to you. You might also just catch up on spending more time with friends, just because you've had this, tunnel vision, working really, really hard there in the 9th house those first 7 months. So here from October 27th to December 4th, you might feel that now you can relax a little bit more and be a little bit more social. Hang out, have fun, right? Do those hopes, wishes, and dreams that you've been thinking about throughout the year. And coming in from October 27th to December 4th, this is where you're going to step back a little bit and just take a breather. Mars at this time is meeting up with the planets that you had on top of the chart in January. Now, those planets moved away, but the very degrees that they were in, Mars is going to meet up with those degrees one by one, and you will see exactly what the harvest is going to be. This is what you initiated. Now you're going to be gathering it, the impulses from it, and it's still in the 12th house, so it's going to be a little bit exciting, because as it's in the 12th house now, it has empowered you. And then once it goes over the horizon, over your rising sign into the 1st house, you're going to come out bursting with new energy, with a plan. You're going to show the world exactly what you've been working for this entire year. And that will be from December 4th and throughout the rest of the year. And then 2015, you're starting with Mars in the 1st house. So you're going to have a flying start there, 2015. Good for you. Now, we still have Jupiter in Cancer, and it will be there and remain there to July 24th. And this is in the 6th house, and so it will be moving into your partnership house, love and romance, committed relationships from July 24th and throughout the whole year. In fact, Jupiter is going to be expanding your relationship house until summer of 2015. So this is going to be a wonderful time for you to experience love and relationships. And for those of you who are single, you might meet a significant other that can be and become important to you for many years to come. Jupiter takes 12 years to go around once, and it's initiating this area now. So it could be a very long-term partner coming in. For those of you already in a relationship, well, you might be considering tying the knot here from August onwards and throughout this coming then next year. So this is what we have for you, Aquarius. We just want to talk a little bit about the squares of Pluto and Uranus. They have been hanging around and intensifying the areas between communication and travel and the way you communicate, how people communicate to you. And Pluto here in the 12th house, and we've had this since it started in 2011, but especially in 12 and 13, we've had a couple of rounds each year. We still have 2 more rounds here in 2014. And the period you want to be aware of is between March 12th and May 24th. Then again, also November 4th and until April 25th of 2015. This is when they're going to be at odds with one another, when the same pressure is going to come in. And if you're asking me now, what pressure? Well, then go back and recall what happened in your life between April 17th to June 28th here in 2013, and what happened between September 21st to December 12th of 2013. That's when the pressure was on. And it's the same area, it's going to be the same kind of pressure coming in, because it hasn't refined you yet. And these planets move so slowly, so they don't create change like that overnight. It's not just a conscious choice, flip the switch. No, these things are transforming you deeply down into the cellular memory of who you are, not just the cellular memory of who you are in this lifetime, but it's creating change in the patterns that you have collected throughout time. And I'm saying time way back, past incarnations too, because we bring the persona from one lifetime to the other, where we're basically the same, still working on the same issues. So this is a long-term haul and turnaround. This is why it's taking time, because we have to get way down deep in there. It's hard to change those habits, right? So you're going to have that, but you're going to be more forearmed because now you had these pressures several times now, just the last couple of years. So you'll recognize it. It won't be that devastating because you'll go, oh, here we go again. Here's that issue, right? But when you see it, you're going to be more equipped now to make those conscious choices, to program what it is you want now for the long haul. We're talking the rest of your life. Pluto has the power to transform you into the new you. And Uranus is going to also take away all the things that you rebel towards, that no longer serves a purpose. It is there to actually liberate and free you. So the outcome is the liberation and the freedom of the new you, and then the transformation of the spiritual inner self coming forward, merging, becoming this beautiful, glorious self. That's the outcome of these two planets. But we have to wait. We're fully done till we're fully transformed. We're still in this gestation phase. We're no longer, any of us on the planet, we're no longer, you know, the caterpillars we once were. We're all changing. We're all in this gestation before we're all going to transform into these new beings. And I'd like to say a lot of this has to do with also what we see now globally taking place. We have them here, you know, the minute something hits, we all have it in our news, we have it on our Twitters and our news channels, the TV. We're bombarded with transformation upon the planet. There is war, death, explosions, there's tsunamis, there's volcanic activity, people dying here. We're getting fed with so much of this. We're getting this collective consciousness taking place here. And so yes, we're all feeling the tension of the earth change, the collective path that we've all taken. But we're lifting and rising. It is actually the ascension that is taking place through these planets here, believe it or not. Okay, so lift your mind, you who have Mars now in the 9th house. Ponder upon it. You have 7 months to figure it out, what it means for you. I will see you next month here, Aquarius. Do listen to your moon and your rising sign, and don't forget now to subscribe so you get your scopes directly to your inbox next month, and I will see you.